Motorsport isn't just about Formula One. There are feeder formulas that bring those talented drivers like Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton and the likes, and they are expensive to run, but they don't have those media rights and the big corporate sponsors that we talked about in other videos. They have to survive. But how do they do that? Obviously, the first source of income is going to be the driver and the backers that that driver brings. Now, you start off in karting typically, and that can cost about $250,000 a year for one seat. Then you go into Formula 4. Now that can cost anywhere between $200,000 and $300,000 for one seat for 1 year. Then you have Formula 3. Now that can cost between $300,000 up to $1.2 million per year. And then you reach the level of Formula 2, the feeder series directly into Formula 1. Now that can cost anywhere between $2 and $3 million per year. Funding filters talent. Raw speed is not enough. You need to be able to bring the money to buy those seats. And that tends to be from wealthy families, family friends, or state backing. But all is not lost, because there is obviously the driver academies that the Formula One teams have. They have scouts out there looking for talent all the time, and they can pluck them out of any formula, be it from karting up to Formula 2. And they'll put money into those drivers to make sure that they get the best junior teams with the best chance of winning, so they can get all the super license points and bring them up into Formula 1. So it pays for the junior formula teams to align themselves with the Formula 1 teams. That gives them the reassurance that there's solid backing there and they're going to have decent drivers in their seats. Additionally, some of the junior teams were set up or are owned by Formula 1 personnel. Take for instance the ART team. They were set up by Fred Vasseur, who now runs the Ferrari team. And you have DAMS as well. They were set up by Charles Pick, an ex-Formula 1 racing driver. Those sort of ties will help you get the talent, the sponsors and access to the paddock, which is highly valuable. Whilst it's great to have that money, the third and final factor in making sure you have a successful junior team is how you manage it. In Formula 2, for instance, you have an identical chassis, being a Dallara chassis, a Mechachrome engine and Pirelli tyres. Those are all locked in. So how do they make a cost-effective difference with the driver? Well, first of all, they'll make sure that they've got a driver in the loop simulator, so they can put their drivers in the sim and they can hone their racecraft. They can learn the circuits and they can help set up the cars for the next race. They'll also have coaching. Not every driver is going to understand telemetry, so they teach them that. They get experienced drivers to show them how to fine-tune their racecraft and make them effective racers. And then you have to manage the bill, because you can't guarantee there's not going to be a crash. So you make sure that you have risk briefs, race reviews, and a replacement policy built into the budget, so that one bad weekend doesn't completely screw up the cash flow. And making sure your engineering side is set up properly with good talent to make sure there's no mechanical DNFs, because obviously it's not always going to be the driver that causes the problem. Below Formula 1, the lower formula team's business model is, to be fair, survival. You sell the seat with the support, manage the damage and the cash flow, and anchor yourself to academies, patrons and sponsors that you can bring in. Thank you for watching my video. I put a lot of effort into this, so if you enjoyed it, please give me a like. And to help the channel, it'd be great if you could subscribe as well. Thanks a lot.